Bob Kurtz, Mike Galloway back here inside the Metrodome. You're looking at Sampson, driven by Don Maples as we get ready for the monster truck competition.
1985 Chevrolet, 19,000 pounds, and he's up against the Duraliner giant, Kevin Dabney out of Tampa, Florida. Of course, Don Maples out of Huntsville, Alabama. This should be great. An 86 Ford against an 85 Chevrolet.
It's a straight shot. 2 sets of 3 cars.
2 sets of 3 over the cars and then over another set of hills, and it's going to be great. Kevin Dabney, the Duraliner giant, weighs 20,000. It's close. It's close. Dabney's in the lead. The Duraliner giant's in the lead. Maples is going to have to come from behind. Maples is going to have to come from behind, and I don't think he's going to make it.
No, he's not. It's the Duraliner giant. That's the winner.
Kevin Dabney. The Duraliner giant takes first round of monster truck competition.
Well, they came roaring out of the starting gate at a very quick race. And Kevin Dabney and the Duraliner giant out of Tampa, Florida is the winner.
You know, Bob, that's got to be considered an upset here tonight because Don Maples was picked to be a winner, but if you look down as they pull back from the Duraliner giant, there is some telltale signs that he may have broke something on the pass because it looks like he's got a trail of fluid falling out behind the Duraliner giant, and that may very well be transmission fluid.
We continue now with our monster trucks. This is the Monster Vet going against the Copenhagen Skull Crusher.
Skull Crusher is here to win one tonight, and they're going to try their best. Jim Reese, the builder of the truck, is driving, and he is all over the track and all over the cars. He's got the Monster Vet covered by about 4 lengths, and he wins it and goes home in style. What a race.
Well, the Skull Crusher, the winner, will advance to the second round. Wildstang, Cliff Starbird at the controls, going against Frankenstein.
Supercharged motor against an alcohol motor. Watch out, Cliff Starbird's got the Mustang working. Off to the side, he's got to come around. We'll wait on an official judgment on that. But I believe Cliff Starbird Mustang is #1 in this race tonight. Cliff told me earlier that he had broke a valve and he's only running on 7 cylinders in the Wildstang Mustang.
Cliff's got both trucks, right?
Cliff does own both trucks.
Well, we've got Bigfoot going against Sampson. Bigfoot, owned by Bob Chandler, driven by Jim Kramer, and Don Maples back in Sampson.
Don Maples, a supercharged 454 Chevrolet, and he's going up against Bigfoot, the supercharged 640 cubic inch Ford motor. Heads up and hammer down. This is the race of the year right this minute as Bigfoot takes on Sampson, and it's all Bigfoot tonight. Don Maples having problems. He can't even get close, but a beautiful job. Jim Kramer takes home another win for Bigfoot.
Here's our second heat now in the monster truck competition. There's Bigfoot, a big winner in the first heat. He'll be going against the Copenhagen Skull Crusher. This should be a dandy.
Oh, this should be great. Jim Reese driving the Copenhagen Skull Crusher. He's the builder of it. Jim Kramer, the driver of Bigfoot, probably none better. This is a race that has been brewing for quite some time. Not too many weeks ago, the Copenhagen Skull Crusher was racing Bigfoot. They went up over some cars. They crashed the front end out from under the truck, hauled it back to California, repaired it, brought it back this weekend to do one thing. They want to run the Bigfoot truck, and they want to win.
Here we go for the championship, Bigfoot and the Skull Crusher.
This is a race that's been brewing. These guys have been up against each other several times before, and it is always a real close race. We're just going to have to wait and see. Any one of them could win this race. It is all heads up.
Bigfoot got the break out of the starting gate.
Look at the Skull Crusher. He's coming back. Skull Crusher is going to go for it. They're all over the track. Can he do it? Bigfoot
race.
home a win.
Bigfoot got the break out of the starting gate. Skull Crusher appeared to catch up, and what a finish.
I'll tell you what, Bob, I believe they spent as much time in the air that time around as they did going over cars. Watch the flagman as he runs out of the way. Bigfoot jumps on it right out of the hole. Both the guys come off with all four wheels just bouncing. Look at this. All over the cars, they're flying high. The Skull Crusher makes up a lot of ground right here as he jumps the cars, lands very hard, and look at this. Before it ever lands, he's on top of the other set of cars. But there's where Bigfoot gathers the ground. Bigfoot bouncing. He gathers it under control. Jim Kramer doing a super job. He knows there's about 50 foot to the finish line. He hammers that big block forward and takes home another victory for Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is still the champion.
The reigning king of monster trucks.
And this is side-by-side monster truck competition. In track 1, this is the Heartbeat, Brett Engelman. Track 2, the famous Barefoot, the Chevrolet of Fred Schaefer. Both of them are Chevys with Chevy engines.
And this is going to be a round-robin competition. These monster trucks are vying for the one monster truck who will compete against the Virginia Beach Beast.
And that's right. It's not going to be a timed competition. It's just the first one across the finish line wins. They circle around to the right or the left, then set up for the cars. And here we go with the cars. Heartbeat hits it, comes up, and down, and goes across it. There's Fred Schaefer's Barefoot, but it looks like Heartbeat takes the checkered flag. Yep, Heartbeat wins round number 1. He's happy about that. I don't know if he knows yet. He's not really sure or not.
That's a 1988.
He says, did I win? Yes. We go to the next round. This is an interesting machine. This is Hot Stuff. On the left-hand side, track 1, Jeff Boehner. It's a 1986 Jeep CJ7, the world's largest Jeep. With a 427 supercharged Chevy, one of the few machines that has beaten Bigfoot in head-to-head competition, Margot.
And he's going up against the Black Stallion, Mike Batters, out of Hagerstown, Maryland. That was quite a trip for that young man.
That's your home neighborhood, too.
That's right.
It's a 1988 Ford F-350. You've got Ford versus Chevy here. The Black Stallion's 466 Ford engine against the Hot Stuff 427 Chevy.
Both of these vehicles, though, are putting out 600 horsepower, so technically they should be evenly matched. Let's see what rider competence will maybe make the difference.
They must have side shields on the motors from the bottom of the crankshaft for protection. All right, here we go. And there goes Hot Stuff. The CJ7 makes his way around that turn. That turn is crucial. You've got to get around that perfectly, and that's exactly what he did, and comes up and just doesn't even slow down when he hits the cars. Easy victory for Hot Stuff. Black Stallion still having trouble getting across the line. We're going to be seeing a lot of that Jeep CJ7, Margot, I think. He's doing extremely well.
For such a newcomer to the sport, he really has total control over that vehicle.
Coming up next, in track number 1, this will be Samson. Don Maples, the driver. Huntsville, Alabama. It's an 85 Chevy Silverado with a 513 big block Chevy. Beautiful machine. Look at the paint job. Look at the chrome on that thing. It's got more chrome than Sammy Davis Jr.'s driveway. I don't believe that. All right, he'll be going up against Bigfoot, the granddaddy of them all. Rich Hoosier, the driver, St. Louis, Missouri. 1988 Ford F-250 blown with 2 Predators. There's Ken Dunay, our tech director, down there on the field, lining them up. Bigfoot against Samson. This could be a good one, Margot.
Now, this is where we can point out that Bigfoot at 10 foot 6 inches is a lot shorter in height than the 14-foot Samson. You see it right there, which makes Bigfoot a little more competitive on these competition 1-to-1.
Right, head-to-head. Okay, Bigfoot gets the gate, goes out in front. Now, here's the tricky part, getting around that turn. Look at how far Samson slows down, how much he slows down.
Rick could go faster because he's not top heavy, and he can really bash those cars in control.
He doesn't even slow down. Now look at there. Samson hasn't even hit the cars yet, and Bigfoot is stopping for dinner. I can't believe this. Look at this. The guy gets across the line, but Bigfoot wins by a country mile. Okay, we go now to the next round. Kodiak, track 1, Mark Bendler, 87 GMC Sierra Classic. Going up against the Virginia Giants. On track 2, Deal Wilson. We saw him in a funny car a little bit ago.
He has to shift gears a little bit, climb up just a few feet taller.
It's an 85 Ford F-350, so it's GMC on the far lane and a Ford in your near lane, the Virginia Giants. Virginia Giant has a NASCAR Series Boss 429 engine bored out to 492, putting out an enormous amount of horsepower. It's owned by Bill Hinkle of Winchester, Virginia. And Mark Bendler with Kodiak has been driving for 5 years. Last year alone, he was on the road 38 weeks out of 52. So the Virginia Giant against Kodiak. Virginia Giant slightly smaller. You can see from this angle, a little bit smaller. Got the American flag in the back.
Then it will go into the semifinals.
Here's the run. Virginia Giant gets out in front. Spins around there. Four-wheel drive and four-wheel steering. Comes on. Now here comes Kodiak trying to catch up to him. I don't think he can do it. Nope. It's going to be the Virginia Giant rocking and rolling and bouncing across the line.
A great run. You can really see where he turns here. The custom hydraulic orbital controlled rear steering.
Yep. Very sophisticated. These are literally hand-built, valued at excess of $150,000 a piece. Virginia Giant takes home. And we go now to the semifinals. And the winner of the finals goes up against the Virginia Beach Beast, which is a monster tank. That's going to be wild. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up now. This is Hot Stuff. Jeff Bader of Yakima, Washington. That's probably the most formidable Jeep ever built. Been racing 2 years, and going up against, he will be meeting Heartbeat. Brett Engelman of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Owns Great Lakes 4x4.
Now he's really into the business end of this industry, with this being his third monster truck. He started building monster trucks to promote his four-wheel drive shop. Being in the parts business, he really feels he keeps up to date with what's happening in the monster truck game.
Well, there's a look close at Jeff Bader of Hot Stuff. He has beat Bigfoot in an upset before. He has served notice. He's one of the up-and-coming 4x4s and monster truck 4x4s. The Jeep CJ7 against the Chevy pickup. Let's see what happens. Again, they turn very crucial. They get off the line. They are handlebar to handlebar, wheel to wheel. Look at this. Throwing it sideways. Heartbeat goes to the inside and takes over the lead as they head for the cars. Neither slow down. Landing very hard, and a problem, it looks like, with the Jeep. It's a photo finish, and the word we have is that Heartbeat wins. And look at that front axle, Margot.
Well, you got to remember, the front end of his vehicle is 15 inches wider. Now, that makes it more stable around the turns, but he's going to be vulnerable to damage because of all the leverage. He's got to land very carefully over those jumps. Maybe we'll get an opportunity to see what happened to him.
Okay, this is Hot Stuff. Now, watch that left front wheel. What happens? It's the cars, launches in the air and comes down and down. Oh, they're still in the air and down hard. There it is, right there. It breaks. The axle apparently broke, Margot, and that threw him off to the left.
He almost cleared all those cars. Somebody must have told him this was a jumping competition.
Oh, what a tough break for Hot Stuff. A broken axle, a broken front axle. Each one of those tires and wheels cost between $2,500 and $3,000.
Where's Big Toe when you need him?
the tow truck. So that does it tonight for Hot Stuff. And there comes Bigfoot for the second round of semi-competition. Rich Hooser, the driver. Coming up against, he will take on the awesome Virginia Giant. Deal Wilson, the driver. Transmission of that car, kind of interesting, Margot.
Yes, it's a art car specially built for a C6. And the transmissions are very important. The gearing and the way these motors can put that power to the ground has a lot to do with how these trucks work.
Bigfoot is owned by two of the nicest people in the monster truck business, Bob and Marilyn Chandler. They're just super people. They originated the monster truck phenomenon back in St. Louis in the early 70s. Bob came up with the idea to do it. He built the first one. He now has 6 or 7 of them running all over the world. There's a close-up of the Virginia Giant. So the stage is set. Bigfoot against the Virginia Giant. There's Ken Donay, our head tech inspector for the entire U.S. Hot Rod Association, down on the line. And there they go. And the Virginia Giant takes a whole shot, Margot.
Not very intimidated by Bigfoot, that's for sure.
Spins around, Bigfoot on the outside. And wait a minute, Virginia Giant spins all the way around. And Bigfoot comes back in and hits the cars. Up and almost completely clearing all the cars with the front wheels. And here comes the Virginia Giant.
He must have gotten a little excited when he was in front of Bigfoot. Oversteered, stalled the motor, but unfortunately kept him out of the finals.
We're going to be able to time that one with a sundial. Looks like Bigfoot will go to the finals. And this is Heartbeat. On track 1, the driver, Brent Engelman, and he will be going up against Bigfoot for the finale.
And their chance to go up against the Virginia Beach Beast.
And there's Bigfoot coming out of the pits now. Rich Hoosier doing the driving. And boy, this crowd loves both of these machines. Chevy versus Ford. And I guess you got to say that Heartbeat's main goal in life and reason for existence, Margot, is to beat Bigfoot.
He built this truck from the ground up with the sole challenge of beating Bigfoot. He's put a lot of technology and a lot of sweat and tears into that truck.
All monster trucks must have an ignition kill switch mounted at the center rear of the vehicle at least 6 feet high, so it's easily accessible to the track crew and they can see that the vehicle is actually in neutral. So here we go. This is the finale. Bigfoot against Heartbeat. Now, Heartbeat has never beaten Bigfoot before. Let's see what he can do tonight. Minneapolis Metrodome. The stage is set. Rich Hoosier, the driver with the experience in Bigfoot, against the Heartbeat machine with a little less experience, the driver behind the wheel. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the race, the finale. Heartbeat, the black Chevy on the outside. Bigfoot, the blue Ford on the inside. They spin around. They are neck and neck. Bigfoot going wide. Wait a minute. Heartbeat stalls. Bigfoot made a mistake. Hoosier made a rare mistake. And it is handed to Bigfoot on a silver platter. Margot, what happened to the Chevy?
Well, I think they both were a little nervous. It was such a great straightaway start. They were head-to-head, but I'm afraid just nerves got to Brett.
Oh, tough break as Rich Hoosier looks over and says, have you driven a Ford lately? What a tough break for the Chevrolet. And Bigfoot's happy. Hoosier is happy.
Hoosier cut a few donuts, had a few insult to injury.
Okay, back to the action, and there comes the Virginia Beach Beast. Margot, is it tough to drive that thing?
Hey, I thought it was going to be a lot tougher, but they're so sophisticated inside. They're an incredible piece of equipment.
There is an incredible piece of equipment. Look at those tracks. A World War II Army tank. The Virginia Beach Beast, Mike Katz, the driver, welded on to a Chevy Blazer. A Chevy Blazer welded onto that, weighing 11 tons.
Now, don't be looking for that steering wheel inside the Virginia Beach Beast. There aren't any, just control levers.
Track 2, that's Bigfoot. Rich Hoosier, the driver. The Virginia Beach Beast is fully blown with supercharged 454 Chevy 2 Predators. And when that thing hits the ground, they'll feel the landing in Japan. I'm serious. They line up against Bigfoot, against the Virginia Beach Beast, and Hoosier has let it be known he is not real happy about racing one of these tank trucks. He doesn't think it's fair.
Well, they feel that the monster tank doesn't have to jump over the cars, that it has an advantage just plowing right over them without having to get any air. And they feel that they're easier to turn, so they don't feel it's an even-up competition.
Okay, Hoosier was talking to Ken Donay, our tech director there. They're lining up on the line now. Now, this is one of the first times a monster tank has ever taken on a monster truck. And a lot of people feel the monster tanks are the wave of the future. And the crowd loves it. They love both of them here. Bigfoot, the most photographed truck in history. There's a start. And Bigfoot gets the whole shot, a surprise. The tank can do 60 miles an hour on the open road, but it didn't help him now. Bigfoot spins around. Is he going to overcompensate for that spin? No. He recovers, comes back up and over, and wham! Slam! And it's Bigfoot by a country mile.
Cat's really having trouble, but you've got to remember this is his first time out on the track where Bigfoot has got this circuit dialed.
That's right, and there is Michael Katz and the Virginia Beach Beast, and there's Rich Hoosier in Bigfoot. The crowd cheering. They love both these machines.
Mike, we're ready to go here with the battle of the monster trucks. We've got 10 tonight, and what's the format?
Well, they're staging them both on concrete, so it's going to be quite an exciting race. You go down the track, make a U-turn, and over the cars. The finish line, as we mentioned, is the area on the last car. The last car is the finish line, so that's going to be the point to look at. The 8th fastest will come back to run again. The 2 slowest will go home. So this is qualifying, but they're only going to qualify 8 out of the 10. Brett Schaefer on this side, Jim Kramer on the other side. Schaefer out of the hole, and what a shot. And it's going to be tough. They're going to have to move some trucks. Watch out, they're together.
Oh, man.
They bumped. Bigfoot and Barefoot have bumped into turns, and this is in qualifying only. Now, their problem is there's a little bit of dust on it. There's dust on the track, and Bigfoot went into the slide. They were both sliding, and they came together. Look at the tire. Look at the left front tire on Bigfoot. It is absolutely mashed. The Bigfoot truck came out on the worst end of it as he shut it down right there. It's got a severely bent wheel.
Mike, also, that was one thing, but the turn back where the other monster trucks are is awfully tight. In fact, Schaefer almost took out some monster trucks that are just sitting there waiting to go.
Well, I believe they may want to revamp this situation a little bit. May want to move some trucks. Bigfoot, now I don't know what they were going to do on it. Bigfoot goes ahead and crosses the finish line, but here's the deal, Ken. The two slowest trucks go home. So
Probably, yeah, just a safety precaution in case someone doesn't finish or breaks down, but certainly not the kind of start Bigfoot needed tonight.
Well, in qualifying, look at Fred Schaefer. At the tight turn, the tires are really turned, but see the dust, and he's sliding. He's sliding around. Now, you're going to notice Bigfoot coming over on the side, and he also is in a tremendous slide. I don't know what, but they hit. Oh. Boy, I mean, they hit hard. I don't know what on the barefoot truck that Bigfoot hit, but it sure bent the left front wheel on the truck. Fred Schaefer goes ahead and crosses the finish line, but surely took a real hard beating on that. So that's going to be something we're going to have to kind of keep in touch with, as the two slowest will not qualify and will go on the trailer. Jim Reese has a brand new baby at home, 3 months old, and Gary doing the driving of the Skoal Bandit. Gary Sardin, Gary Sardin. Both of them supercharged big block Chevrolets, Art Car Turbo 400 transmissions, and they're tough. They're very tough. Ironically, both from the same hometown in California. Well, the trucks are owned by the same man. Seth Colton out in California owns both of these trucks. So Seth can't lose on this. Seth can't lose on this one. He's qualifying. They're side-by-side, hard-running action, but they're both of them on the binders, keeping them in bounds, keeping them slowed down a little bit. Not charging real hard, but look at the jump. Look at that Skoal Bandit truck.
That Skoal Bandit wins that heat. Beautiful jump.
Both of those trucks were just perfect.
Well, here's a good way to settle a difference, and there was a difference when Barefoot and Bigfoot went at each other. Bigfoot and Barefoot kissed on the far turn. Bigfoot knocked for a loop, so they're going to do it again, Mike. They went the first time. It didn't really count, except in the minds of Fred Schaefer and Jim Kramer.
Now there's Fred sitting down on the line, and what a tag. But Kramer is lined up. Let's see if Fred comes to attention. They will give both of them a rerun.
Fred, of course, there's Bigfoot. Barefoot has those tires that we saw earlier this year, which are lighter, thinner racing tires, and you would think against the clock, there is a great shot of the tires. You would think against the clock it would give the advantage to Barefoot.
If he can get the traction on this pavement. That is the key to it. Bigfoot's going to make a bye. Let's see how he does. He's in the turn hard. Nails the throttle, picking the left front tire up, and he spins out. Turns it back around. Uh-oh, he's in a little trouble. Trying to drive out of it. He does. Beautiful job of driving by Jim Kramer, but he was in trouble when he made the turn. And there's liquid coming out of the front of it. And there's the gentleman that has really had some tough luck tonight.
And to keep rivals separate, they're going to let Barefoot run on his own just like Bigfoot.
There you go, Ken. Now, let's see how it works out. Boy, Jim Kramer had a tough break. Fred Schaefer not letting anything grow under his feet. Let's see if he can negotiate the turn.
Good turn.
And he does. He does in excellent style. He's lined up. Is the jump. He's in trouble. He's off to the side. He drives it out of it. And
yeah, just knocked that start and finish line over.
Well, we're going to have to get with some officials, get some ideas, and we can see on that would be the right rear tire of Fred Schaefer's truck that is really bent in the side of it. That was in the accident that happened earlier. There you see it.
Yeah, you can
just
see.
A real hard bend.
Back at the Metrodome, I'm Ken Brew. Mike Galloway is next to me, and this is like old home week now, because for the third time tonight, Barefoot and Bigfoot will square off. They did it once, had a little bit of an accident, then did it individually to get the time. Both have qualified, and now again, side by side, we've got Fred Schaefer and Jim Kramer. There is Barefoot to the lower part of your screen, and Bigfoot is at the top of your screen. There is Fred Schaefer, who will drive Barefoot. And Mike, I don't know what to expect now, except just all out, you know, nobody is going to lay back now.
Anything goes, Ken. This
certainly
is
not when they race against each other here.
No way. You've got to just go for it. And they're off. Fred Schaefer, a little bit of a lead, but watch the turn. That's the important part of it. Schaefer cutting it tight. Kramer's got it tight. Can they keep them apart? So close. It's down to the finish line area. Let's to be bad foot. I believe Schaefer's in trouble. He pulls it out. What a driving style by Fred Schaefer. He had that truck in trouble and drove it out of it. Schaefer's in good shape right here as he's got it turned. But look how close they get. They may not be that close from another viewpoint, but our viewpoint, the tires were so close. Now, Bigfoot's got a little bit of a lead on him going to it right there. Schaefer's in trouble. Kramer down on the cars first. That is the finish line is the last car. But here's where Fred's in trouble. Gets it on its side, cuts it, stays on the throttle, and drives it out of it.
We now move on to round 2. The AM/PM Rocket against what used to be known as Big Toe, which is now Evil Force.
You got to think Jim Reese may be a favorite on this one. Jim Reese, we saw out in Anaheim, go to the final round and win against Bigfoot in the final round, but crashing on the last round. Reese, you know, he's a builder of monster trucks. He's built about 9 of these things, and I'd say one of the premier young builders in America, building for Golden State out in California. He's got him covered out of the hole. Let's see how Reese handles it. This track is so slick. No matter how good you are, you can be in trouble in just the blink of an eye. Reese has got a good lead over it. Will he go ahead and drive out? And he does. Takes his time. Wins that one handily, saving the truck. I think that was a wise move on his part. You notice Kenny was backing out of the truck. He looked over, saw he had a lead, and held the lead and held it well, so he will progress on to round 2. We've got Heartbeat against the Master of Disaster. Either one of these trucks are capable of winning. Both of them great drivers, both of them big horsepower. If you have to look at horsepower, you've got to look at Heartbeat. Probably got a little bit bigger motor in it, probably pounding out a little bit more horsepower. The driving style is good over there, but the gentleman here in this Master of Disaster is one of those guys that never, ever says die. Doug is a handler when it gets down to racing.
In the Master of Disaster, Doug Spain here from Albany, Minnesota.
I think Doug's may have a little bit of advantage on this race. You know, besides the horsepower, I'm going to have to get that to Heartbeat. But the little short wheelbase truck, that could be a big advantage on this tight turn down at the end. Heartbeat out in the lead. He's caught him sleeping on the line. Can he keep it up? Uh-oh, he's in trouble. It's skating on the back. Skating on the back, but he's all right. He works it out. He's got it.
Oh, man!
He's got it. Heartbeat wipes out one of them.
Oh.
On the other side. And Master of Disaster, a lot of smoke coming out of the back of that truck.
But it's Heartbeat that will move on. Just a superb run by Heartbeat. On the replay, Mike, we'll see Heartbeat made the turn wide. He's at the top of the screen.
Well, the back end of it's trying to come around on him, but Brett doing a beautiful job of driving, cutting the tires the other way and making him straighten out. Now he comes back around, nails the throttle, a lot of air for Heartbeat, lands up on 2 wheels. It is wild and woolly racing here tonight. You see the Master Disaster, a lot of smoke coming out from the transmission area on that truck. He may have very well smoked the transmission. There's the beautiful Skull Bandit truck. That's another one of the Jim Reese built trucks. Gary doing the driving. Gary made one of the prettiest qualifying runs that we've seen tonight with this truck earlier. But you've got, can't count out Rob Fuse out of Woodstock, Illinois. He's got first blood. And this truck is so tough, and so is Rob. This is going to be one of the best races of the night right here. I think this could be really the race. We might see the winner come out of this set of trucks right here, because both of these guys are truly capable of winning. Well, I'd call it a dead heat going into the first turn. The Bandit truck taking his time. First Blood, a little bit of a lead. Can he hold up with it? First Blood's got a lead. Look out.
Oh!
Whoa!
The Skull Bandit made up all of his time as he leaped the cars. Mike, we'll see it in the replay. The Skull Bandit had so much air coming over those cars.
Now they're lined up. First Blood's got a lead on him of about a truck right here. Half a truck. He's in the air, but now air is going. Can't tell from my vantage point. We'll have to wait.
It might be, you know, I thought the Skull Bandit won it, but First Blood touched wheels down first after leaping the cars, where the Skull Bandit was still in the air, so it might be that First Blood did indeed win that heat. There is a nice shot in the red jumpsuit, taking the helmet off, Rob Fuchs, getting the congratulatory handshake. It is First Blood who has moved on. There is the Rocket. The Rocket will be at the top part of your screen. At the bottom part will be the Bigfoot. And Mike, they have seen each other once before. We can go back so many months, almost a year ago, when the two of them met in Anaheim in a competition similar to this.
The Rocket came out the winner on that one, but crashed on the final jump. So this is a rematch of the final round of competition. There's Jim Kramer watching the flagman. On go. Who will it be? The Ford has got a little bit of a lead. He's got the throttle hard. Can he bring it around? Can he bring it around? What's going to happen?
Oh, watch it.
The Rocket is in a little bit of a lead. Jim Kramer makes it all up.
Oh.
But the left front took the beating on that. The left front tire must have moved 6 to 8 inches when he landed. I think he's wiped the left front out on it. I think the left front is wiped completely out on Bigfoot, and there goes the tire down.
And in an ironic twist, it was the AM/PM Rocket that won that match in Anaheim, but could not continue because of a wreck.
Exactly.
Now it is Bigfoot who has won the match, but will not be able to continue because of the wreck.
Don't count these guys out. They may have a hold card.
He's going to have to do some heavy-duty repair work, and I mean in minutes. Unbelievable. And that probably happened as the truck landed, Mike.
It did. You can see the left front tire really take a beating because it lands with that tire down. Now they're drifting so close. The Rocket in the lead, but both of them have let off. They don't want to hurt each other. Don't want to hurt the truck. Now back on the throttle. Reese is trying to correct. Watch this left front tire. It was injured earlier from the incident with Fred Schaefer. There, see the body comes down on the tire. Everything, the whole force of the truck, the momentum and everything lands on that left front. It just wouldn't take it.
Each awaiting the green flag.
Each of them super competitors. Can't pick a winner in this. It's just too close. Here we go. Rob out with a little bit of a lead as they go early. Rob has got a good lead. First Blood with quite a lead over Heartbeat. Brett has got problems. The Heartbeat truck quit. The Heartbeat truck shut down. So it's First Blood continuing.
First Blood to the finals. First Blood to the finals when the Heartbeat was lost.
So I think Kramer will probably put it to a halt. Look at that. Now there's our very gracious gentleman.
It's been a tough night too. He had the kiss with Barefoot that did some damage to his truck, and he had trouble coming off the cars a couple of times, and now this. Still has time for an autograph though.
Well, just goes to show what kind of class Jim Kramer has.
Who has come on from a big win over Heartbeat and the Skoal Bandit to take on the AM/PM Rocket. Not the winner in the last set. That distinction went to Bigfoot. Bigfoot cannot answer the bell, so it's the Rocket.
And it's Blood out of the hole with a good hole shot. Rob Fuse wants this one. Jim Reese has got other ideas. My heavens, Reese just could not bring it around. Reese had that one in the bag, but it's Rob Fuse winning it with First Blood. Reese will come back kind of anticlimactic at the finish, but Reese found the problem that's been seen several times here tonight, and that is the dust on the floor. But there is the man of the hour. Your winner tonight, your top eliminator, is First Blood.
And the very first machine up is the reigning world champion on the Camel Tour, Fred Schaefer in the Barefoot Chevrolet. An incredible airborne leap, and Schaefer will kick off qualifying on the finish line ramp. The next machine up from Indianapolis, Indiana, Tim Adams in the Crimson Crusher, a brand new 1991 Ford F-350. A rather conservative launch for Adams. Brand new piece of equipment for the 1991 U.S. Harvard Association season. Stan Hall in the new Ford called Big Boss. Hall certainly aggressive enough. Meanwhile, one of the home state favorites, Minnesota's own barely tame Ford F-350 with Jim Thomas behind the wheel, leaves the line. Thomas takes down a finish line marker on what appeared to be a perfectly straight run that somehow got out of shape before the finish line. And there's the reason, a sideways bounce in the middle of the crush cars.
gave the barely tame Ford an elapsed time of 8.75 seconds. But now the 1989 U.S. Auto Association Rookie of the Year, Rob Fuchs, the First Blood Ford, takes to the air. An incredible run. Fuchs puts down a 4.89 second elapsed time. Definitely will be a contender. Meanwhile, the master of disaster Chevrolet, another Minnesota campaigner, driven by Doug Spanier, leaves the line. Spanier down on power at the impact point, and that caused the machine to literally drop out of the air, and the bounce was nearly uncontrollable. The master of disaster Chevrolet at 7.99 seconds will slide into the center of the qualified field right now. But here's the killer, Andy Brass in the legendary Bigfoot Ford, shooting for number 1. An incredible flight and an equally astounding landing. Andy Brass, with a mark to beat of 4.56 seconds, records a 3.60 second elapsed time to take the number 1 spot. And that will leave only the most popular machine, at least with Chevrolet body panels, on the ground, the Gravedigger. An incredible flight and an equally beautiful landing. Dennis Anderson records a 4.43 second elapsed time. Is Bob Chandler serious about building winning monster trucks? You bet he is. And his latest creation is in the near lane as we're ready for the first battle against the Big Boss Ford. An incredible flight. It wasn't even a race. Andy Brass takes Bigfoot into the next round, once again landing a little bit sideways, but light years ahead of the new Illinois-based Ford. To continue the first round of elimination side by side, it's now the defending world champion Fred Schaefer in barefoot in the near lane against the brand new Crimson Crusher Ford on the far side. And Schaefer takes one for the Chevrolet fans, another runaway. Certainly the crowd knows full well about the First Blood Ford's propensity for winning events in 1991. A true threat for the Camel World Championship and the number 4 qualifier in this event, lined up in the near lane against the Minnesota Ford called Barely Tame. And problems set in for the First Blood Ford. Jim Thomas, the local hero, will defeat the First Blood machine in the first round. What an upset.
My truck has really gotten popular in the last couple of years because of my wild driving style. It's an old, unique truck. It's a different truck. And I'm an underdog coming up from the bottom, coming to the top quick.
At least. Dennis Anderson has already proven himself to be one of the great drivers in the history of this sport, and here he is against the master of disaster. Anderson drives away with the quickest winning run of the first round of eliminations. A reigning world champ in the far lane, the best-known truck in motorsports history in the near lane. And problems for Schaefer right off the starting line, and Andy Brass will drive Bigfoot into the final round. They left the line together, but right at the Christmas tree, watch barefoot. It nosedives. It lost power so quick, it almost had to be a problem in the transmission. Andy Brass sideways in the air, a rough landing, but it was more than enough. Now another Ford and Chevrolet matchup, staged and ready. And Anderson will walk into the final round. Absolutely no problems. It's time to put them on the line and run them for this U.S. Auto Association Camel title. Gravedigger versus Bigfoot here at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. As they move up to stage, we're ready for the final round. They leave the line. An incredible race, side by side across the finish line. But the U.S. Auto Association officials are saying that Bigfoot may have fouled. We'll look at the slow-motion replay. And by that much, you can see that Andy Brass left the line before the green light came on. Dennis Anderson wins.
I probably should have sat up there before the line and just took a couple minutes to myself and mellowed out a little bit. You know, I was a little anxious getting in the line. I knew we was going to have to play the light real good. Dennis is running good times, you know, so it was going to be a real close race, and especially in this short of a course, they don't give you much, and the light's the big thing, and we just blew it.
And we're ready, so let's get down to it for monster truck racing from the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. David Morris, the equalizer, out of Springfield, Tennessee, the hottest running truck on the circuit so far this year. He's going up against the veteran. He was last year's world champion,
Fred Schaefer and Barefoot out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Fred Schaefer, Barefoot, David Morris, equalizer on the starting line. Let's go racing. Both drivers waiting for the green light. And they're off. Fred Schaefer with a bit of a hole shot. He comes off that first set of cars sideways, has to straighten things out. That's all the time David Morris needed to get a win. And our next matchup, Bigfoot and the Carolina Crusher. Carolina Crusher being driven by Gary Wiggins out of Wadesboro, North Carolina. He's handling the driving duties for Gary Porter. And Bigfoot, Dan Runte up in the cockpit out of St. Louis, Missouri. So a Ford Chevy matchup between Bigfoot and Carolina Crusher. They're on the starting line. Both drivers stage, waiting for the signal to start. That goes the starter, and there they go. Bigfoot spinning off the line. Carolina Crusher just cannot catch him. Matter of fact, Carolina Crusher goes over the finish line out of shape. Our next matchup between the world champion, Jackie Willman, and Taurus. Jackie taking over the driving duties a year or so ago for his dad, Jack Willman Sr. out of Granite City, Illinois. He's a reigning world champion. He goes up against Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger, piloted by Lyle Hancock out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. So it's Taurus, Gravedigger, side by side, looking for that green light. There it is, spinning to beat the band. Taurus spins, Gravedigger digs in, and we could see a lane difference here. Possibly the lanes could show us some difference between the right and the left, between David Morris and the equalizer and Dan Runte and Bigfoot. Both trucks want it bad. A Ford Chevy shootout, if you will. There they go. Equalizer with the lead off the line. And David Morris pilots the equalizer to yet another win. And look, he did it in the far lane. And here comes the world champion, Jackie Willman Jr. and Taurus going up against Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger. Gravedigger, Taurus, there they go off the line. Digger gets the hole shot. Holy mackerel, look out, Jackie. What a run. As Digger smokes the Taurus for the second time in a row. Look at this truck run. And Lyle Hancock knows he's got to go flat out to defeat the world champ. The guy that's over the finish line will be our champion here. Side by side, equalizer, Gravedigger off the line. Look at the power that equalizer's displaying. David Morris and the equalizer, an incredible job of driving as he spins it around and brings home to Gary Cook's racing team yet another victory. The equalizer, number one. The equalizer took on all comers here in Minneapolis, and David Morris, just a great job of driving. Off the line, they're side by side. David Morris really turns it on right here. And look at that lead. A tough track, and David Morris, again, the hottest truck on the circuit. The head-on shot, you can see the Digger side by side. David Morris gets a little out of shape, but he holds on to it. And over the finish line he goes. First up, a Ford Chevy matchup. First Blood and Buffalo Tremor. Two red trucks side by side, green light. First Blood gets the hole shot. Buffalo Tremor plays catch-up. Not a pretty win, but a win. He moves on. No problem. John Moore and Ray Perkowski Invader off the line side by side. John Moore pulls it out. A win for no problem. Next up, Nick Rossi and the Jersey Outlaws against Joey Pittman and Tough Enough. The crowd watches. There they go. Pittman off the line. Outlaw bobbles. And Joey Pittman never lets up. And the next round is up. 2 Fords. John Moore and No Problem. And Rob Bush and First Blood.
No problems ready. First Blood is ready. The green light. There they go. First Blood off the line. John Moore's playing catch-up. He can't do it. And Rob Fuchsia's in the finals with First Blood. Here comes Buffalo Tremor and Tough Enough. The two Chevys go at it. Side by side. They stand ready. Tremor with a hole shot. And John Krasnewski defeats Tough Enough. Tremor faces First Blood in the final. Again, off that starting line over the first set of cars. First Blood, Tremor, we're set to go. The championship run. Tremor in the lead. First Blood comes from behind. Whoa, what a run. Your winner, Rob Fuchsia, First Blood. What a great run for Rob. First Blood, the winner in Minneapolis. Digger being towed off the track. This is after his qualifying run. What happened? Here it is. Off the line, he comes over the cars. Very nicely, lands, speeds up, and then launches. And watch this landing. Boom! The rear end comes out of the truck. Totally everything's ripped out. And Digger is on the ground. Pieces. There's pieces of Digger everywhere. He will not be back to race today. He wasn't the only one that had a tough time. The world champion Fred Schaefer takes barefoot over the cars. And now his launch. Look at that, 25 feet in the air, and his landing sideways all over the place. Now Taurus comes up. He's, oh my gosh, defying gravity on that one. Equalizer had an equally bad run, and Tropical Thunder's up in the air. Everybody having problems. Wayne Smozanek does a great job of driving. Kodiak took it easy over the cars. Let's see if his strategy works. There goes the front drive shaft. Nope, he has problems too. And now it's round number one, and after working frantically in the pits, Kodiak is somewhat repaired. No front wheel drive, but he's out to face Predator and Alan Pizzo. And the question is, can Kodiak defeat the Predator? Alan Pizzo's Predator was 5th in qualifying today. Those custers helped him out. Kodiak was 9th. Mark Bendler aboard there. He had to work just to get the truck back for round one. Now Predator out in front as we expected. He has no problems at all defeating Kodiak. Kodiak running with the rear drive only. Predator 6.5 seconds on the track. That's on Tropical Thunder, the truck driven by Wayne Smozanek. He qualified 8th today. Gary Porter took Carolina Crusher to 4th in qualifying. And now these two go at it. This course has already taken out Gravedigger. It's really hurt Kodiak. Let's see if these two guys can hold together. Off the line, a wild jump for Tropical Thunder. Carolina Crusher doesn't waste any time in beating them. Look at the lead for Carolina Crusher. 3 seconds faster. It was almost as if Tropical Thunder was a spaceship. He launched. You need to contact the FAA before you go flying in here. Carolina Crusher has this one figured out, but it's very close to the wall and stopping. One of the longest indoor tracks we run all year long. Wayne Smozanek took a bad hop. He does not have time to straighten things out, and all he can do is limp across the cars at the finish line. Keeping his cool and getting the win is Carolina Crusher. It's the first meeting of the season for Equalizer and First Blood. Up to the starting line, the green light. Equalizer with an incredible hole shot. Almost a full second ahead of him. Equalizer wins it. Equalizer saw the green light. I'm not sure what First Blood was looking at. Taurus has won 4, Invader twice. Ray Perkowski driving Invader. He qualified 6th. Taurus was our second fastest qualifier with Jackie Willman aboard. Taurus comes up to the starting line. Invader's already there. They're staged the green light. Invader seems to get a slight hole shot, and now Taurus comes from behind. Invader has all sorts of problems. Taurus wins it. Good handling on the part of Jackie Willman that the others did.
Predator's already been out there. He got bounced around pretty badly in round number 1. Alan Pizzo aboard, a little over 10,000 pounds. He's putting out 1,800 horses and Chevrolet power all the way. The Big Barefoot is a Dodge, 10,050 pounds with 1,500 horses. And now they're lined up. Only one of these trucks will move on. The other one gets loaded on the trailer according to USHRA rules. Barefoot with a hole shot. Predator does a wheelie, but Barefoot wins it. Predator, the rear tires dug in. It took him up in a wheelie form. Barefoot just sailed over the cars. Predator really had to do a great job of driving to save the truck here. He literally defies gravity when he lands and goes sideways. He's all over the place. Barefoot off the start. Not a bad one. He landed a little rough, but then he manages to recover and goes over the cars and moves on to round number 2. These monster trucks have almost 5 tons, 10,000 plus pounds, and 1,300 horses in the case of Equalizer, with 1,300 horses powering 11,000 pounds for Invader. How'd you like to have that come up behind you on the highway on your way home? On the track, they're awesome, and there goes Equalizer. Whoa, Invader, look at that! Invader! Invader comes from behind, and David Morris did not see. He was right behind him. Invader wins! Tropical Thunder. Last time he met Taurus, last week in Anaheim, he took out the Taurus truck handily. Can he do it again? Taurus weighs in at 10,000 pounds, pushed by 1,200 horsepower. 1,500 horsepower takes the 10,300-pound Tropical Thunder down the track. On the start, Tropical Thunder is even with him, and then it starts to go away. Taurus wins it. Taurus has a much lower center of gravity than Tropical Thunder. Carolina Crusher, First Blood, ready to go at it here at Minneapolis at the USHRA Humphrey Metrodome. These guys have met twice this year. First Blood has not been able to pull off a win. The Ford First Blood, 10,000 pounds. 10,000 pounds for Carolina Crusher. Both very evenly matched. And now the showdown between Ford and Chevy. Who's going to win it? We'll find out as they get the green light. First Blood with a hole shot, but he goes high. Carolina Crusher stays low and wins it. Carolina Crusher works his way to the semifinals. He blew First Blood out of the water. They wait for the green light. Taurus and Carolina Crusher. There they go. Carolina Crusher again cutting a good light. Taurus trying to battle back. He can't do it. Carolina Crusher almost to the wall, but he wins it. All right. Who will meet Carolina Crusher in the finals? Will it be Invader or will it be Barefoot? These two trucks have met 5 times this year. Invader has not yet won against Barefoot. Average time for Barefoot, 5.09. Average time for Invader, 5.63 on this track. And now all the talking is over with. It's the Barefoot Invader showdown. They come up to the line. The yellow Ford against the big red Dodge. The green light, and there they go. Barefoot with a hole shot, easily handles Invader. Invader may have some breakage, may have some problems. Barefoot took a pounding when he landed. Invader limps off the track.
Both trucks developed engine trouble and have just been towed away from the starting line. A bad break for both Brett Schaefer and Gary Porter.
David Morris pulls Equalizer up to the starting line. His competition is Taurus. How did these two trucks make it to the finals? Well, the tough track has taken out everybody else. First of all, Equalizer defeated First Blood in round 1, was beaten by Invader in round 2, and didn't even go to the semis. And Taurus, well, he defeated Invader, then took out Tropical Thunder, but was beaten by Carolina Crusher in the finals. Basically, these are the fastest losers running in the final. On the start, Equalizer with a great hole shot. Taurus battles to make it back, but he can't do it. What a close race! 4.57 for Equalizer, 4.63 for Taurus. Taurus has trouble stopping. He makes it, though.
Somebody should have told the track crew setting up the Christmas tree meant the staging lights, not the holiday variety.
Well, Brian Barthel's family among the 43,847 fans who packed the Metrodome to cheer on the Minnesota native, but it wasn't enough to get him past qualifying. Here, Tom Mintz's Monster Patrol is just too fast on the drag-style straight-line course. Jerry Porter's Carolina Crusher tested the rebound in his tires on this winning run against the Avenger. Then, despite a smooth start in his next round of competition against Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger, he wasn't able to keep up with the 1950 Chevrolet, which flew by for the victory and a semifinal showdown against Monster Patrol. Now, when these two trucks compete against one another, the decibel level always moves up a few notches. In Minneapolis, it wasn't any different. Monster Patrol caught good air off the line, then made the smooth transition over the crushed cars, while Anderson had to try to save his truck from tipping. Monster Patrol went on to the final against Todd Frolick and the Dodge Barefoot, who had demolished Survivor in the other semifinal round. That set up the classic confrontation between the two, whose rivalry had been heating up all year. Inside the Metrodome, it comes to a head as Mintz rockets the Chevy off the line and wins it with the horsepower. Todd Frolick tries to one-up him in freestyle with the donuts. But with the win under his belt, there's no way Tom Mintz was going to have any of that. The crowd is going bonkers as Tom Mintz donuts the Chevy so hard it flips over. Madman Mintz was okay, but the Monster Patrol had lost its wing.
Oh, I didn't care. The fans were pumped up out there. They wanted some donuts. They got some good donuts. So I'm going to give them full donuts fever. They always had a good time in Minneapolis. The fans always liked me up there. A couple years ago, I gave some good donuts. Unfortunately, this time we rolled over, but it didn't matter. I was so excited anyway with the big win. Right now, I don't care. Oh, that'd probably cost, you know, $2-3 grand, but that's not important right now. The important part is the fans had a really good time that came out here tonight.
Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger blasted into the Metrodome to greet a near sellout crowd of over 54,000 Monster fans. No doubt they were ready to roll, and so was the Digger. In round one action, he all but rearranges the Zodiac, defeating Torres in impressive fashion. Next on Digger's docket is Little Tiger, and he's quickly caged as Robert Parker moves on to semifinal action, where it's Rambo's turn to face the wrath of the big block Chevy. Once again, it's Digger domination as he strong-arms Rambo, leaping into final round action. Tom Mintz in Monster Patrol was pitted against Priority One. He literally leaps into the camera shot, blowing past Mike Dropic and his big yellow Ford. But Mintz brought his Chevy down hard on the landing, tearing off the front right wheel, and it would put him out of the competition. Mintz vowed, however, to get his Chevy ready to go for freestyle. It would be David Morrison Equalizer taking over for Monster Patrol. He's able to edge out Barbarian to advance into the final round. And on to the showdown. Off the start, it's Parker with a wheel stand, and sailing into the final jump, it's Gravedigger with an easy win in the Twin Cities. With the serious competition now behind them, the Monsters were anxious to cut loose in an all-out freestyle. And, true to his words, Tom Mintz was able to get his wheel repaired and return to dazzle his fans. The pesky tire would get away from him once again, but Mintz was determined to give his fans a show.
Gonna beat on this thing and beat on it all night. I think I pretty well got it tore up.
Gravedigger, not to be outdone, wheelies the track before the victor goes head over heels in a tire-slinging display of Monster Mania in Minneapolis.
Robert Parker and the Gravedigger. First of all, are you okay? Oh, yeah, man. We got a tore-on truck, though.
Here's a look at Little Tiger. It's a 95 Chevy, 468 cubic inch engines, pumping out 1,300 horsepower under the right foot of Brian Barthel.
He is a heavy equipment operator during the week, drives monster trucks. On the weekend, I think they're kind of associated, you know.
That works out well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Little Tiger set to go. Brian out of Coon Rapids, Minnesota.
He's close to home.
Now he's going to get a bye, but he needs a good time, doesn't he, Michael?
No doubt about it. It's going to make a lot of difference as we go along this evening because the quick time is going to get lane choice, and
that will be our only bye run.
What they've done, Ralph, is the ramps are real short and they're real steep.
This will be Predator up against Samson. Dan Patrick, the driver of the 98 Chevy with 572 cubic inches, 1,350 horsepower. Now Alan Pezzo He's got 540 cubic inches, same amount of horsepower, but it's a 1999 Kitty.
Oh, yeah, I love those Kitties. Do you not have those where you live?
I think the name pretty much describes exactly what the truck is. That's Patrick Sampson. The Kitty, well, you'll know it as soon as you see it.
It's a Panther.
There it is.
It's a stalker. It's a predator. Got the fangs hanging out. It's bad.
Good looking truck, Predator.
His father is probably the most popular man at the monster truck races. Alan Pizzo's dad.
Why is that?
He is a retired contractor.
Yeah.
And these monster truck guys seek him out after these races.
Bet they do.
Oh, they get popped and straightened out. I've even been there a couple of times with Alan's dad.
You need to.
He does a great job.
Great suspensions on these trucks, but the drivers do take quite a pounding.
Oh, they do, but not near like we did 5-6 years ago when we ran springs on them. Now, these shocks that we're running nowadays, the gas shocks, the nitrogen shocks, make so much difference. Help so much, help the ride and the landing. It used to be so hard on a man's back, and now that they've got these good shocks on them, you can land one of them just like laying on a pillow. It really, you know, you're going to have drivers go a lot longer than originally.
Dan Patrick on the left out of Kingston, Ohio. Builds a lot of chassis for monster trucks.
He does that and runs a big KB Hemi in the back of that Chevrolet. And
oh my! Predator hard on the brakes now. That big Kitty comes to a halt.
There's the air we were talking about with the short, high ramps. That's where you're getting all the air.
Here's the replay, Mike.
Pizzo leaves on it just a little bit. Patrick's got to really make some ground up. He does, but
I think the Predator got there by a whisker.
I believe you're right, Ralph. I think it is a whisker shot. Look at it. Look at him drift to the left a little bit, but the truck settles down.
We're waiting on the official ruling from the folks here at Pace Motorsports. While we wait for that, here's a look at your next matchup. Monster Patrol, Tom Means, a 97 bow tie, 575 cubic inches, 1,400 horsepower. That's not too bad when you're David Morris. He's got the same thing buried in the belly of his beast, another 540 cubic inches in another 97 Chevy S10.
Tom Means is...
Sampson getting the win over the Predator, we're now told. Mike?
Tom Means is one of the finest young monster truck drivers you'll ever see in America. He runs it wide open, drives a lot like Dennis Anderson, a lot of style like Dennis Anderson, lets it all hang out.
Now, Mike, usually Monster Patrol we see with that big wing on the back, but not here tonight. Well, here's Monster Patrol set to go on the left, equalizer on the right.
It's going to be a good race. It'll be a great race. I like the Monster Patrol truck. Truck's been around a long time. It has been updated. Paul Schaefer owns the truck, and they've done such a good job. Whoa, baby.
Looked like Monster Patrol is going to pick up the win in that one.
The rules for the United States Hot Rod Association say that you must have the tires on the ramp when you leave. Hit the second set of ramp with the tires, and it drifted to the left. Truck lands a little bit and gets off a little bit right there, and all he can do to save it. The shutoff area is going to be very critical. Let's watch him on this ISO. He rips the hood off that one, and that kicks the back of the truck out. Tom lays it over on its side and goes over a jump that's used for the Pro Arena truck. Still brings it back around, handles it just bouncing and riding, but this young man is good. Never, ever panic.
Obviously never lifts either.
Oh, no. Oh,
well, here's a look at the next lineup. The Executioner with Mark Hall, a 1996 Chevy, 572 cubic inches and 1,400 horsepower. Perfect that the Executioner will go up against the Gravedigger. Dennis Anderson's got a 1950 Chevy panel wagon body on 482 cubic inches, 1,375 horsepower. They did give the win to Monster Patrol, now we're told. So who will he meet up with in the next round? That is what we're going to decide right now. Executioner and Gravedigger, and you're on board with the Digger.
Dennis says that Kill Devil Hill is just a few miles from Kitty Hawk, where they were first in flight with the airplane.
Yeah, that figures.
And he's first in flight with a monster truck.
Boy, is he ever.
There are the Hall boys out of Champaign, Illinois. Come to stage. Big race for the Hall boys.
Well, they know they can't lift, that's for sure, because Dennis Anderson sure isn't. Here we go, executioner, Gravedigger.
Hello, come on.
Backed it right up to the wall.
That's the way you park one of them.
Listen to the crowd cheering the Gravedigger. Boy, does he lay it all out there, doesn't he? Watch this.
Watch him land, Ralph. Watch him land. This is unbelievable. He is wide open right in this area and then just sings the truck. Coming over just a little bit, gets the front tires down. Can't hold on to it. That's beautiful.
Mike, he landed a good 10, 15 yards farther than the executioner did out there. Look at those tires fighting.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. And just park it right up against the wall.
Man, there's a lot of valets that can't do that with a Chevette.
You got that right.
Oh, look at that baby bounce. Up on the wheels, spinning around. Dennis, look at his hands just fighting that wheel. Barefoot going up against my favorite of all time, Bulldozer Guy Wood, blowing smoke out of the nose. In that 97 Chevy, 502 cubic inches, 1,200 horsepower. Barefoot's packing 1,400 horsepower in that 97 Dodge Ram.
Blown KB. I tell you what, the Barefoot truck formerly owned the Fred Schaefer out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois, and it is one bad puppy.
One of the quickest trucks.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Bulldozer.
That's your favorite.
Well, because he blows the smoke out of the nostrils, as you just saw him doing there.
Ralph,
the horns and the aerodynamic tilt.
Ralph,
I love it.
Ralph, blowing smoke is what you do all the time.
Easy, Galloway. It's early in the show.
Oh, okay.
Barefoot and Bulldozer set to go. Round one action continuing here in the Metrodome. Did nothing but spin the wheels at the line, so he went down in a hurry. Barefoot takes the victory. No problem for the Barefoot. Watch the wheel spin on Bulldozer. Look at him, just spin it.
Oh, he's only two-wheel drive, Ralph. The rear tires aren't turning at all. Ralph, you know what you'd call this right here?
A loss.
No, a bear in the air.
Ooh.
Okay, let's look at the overhead. Barefoot down, good run, hard run. I think guys in two-wheel drive at its front. And then you got a bear in the air. Those two guys are bad.
There's little Tiger on the far right. Sampson with the bulging biceps on the left.
You got to remember, Ralph, that fast loser comes back to continue his quest.
Which I got to believe is going to come out of that Gravedigger Barefoot match.
I'm afraid that's probably right.
There's Dan Patrick sitting inside of Sampson, ready to go. Oh, boy. Both trucks going sky high, but Sampson getting to the far end first. Ate him alive on the line, Mike.
This big Hemi working so well for Patrick. Watch Patrick. Watch it. Watch this area right in here. There's where he makes all the ground up. He's got him by, what, 2 truck lengths when it's over with?
Easy.
This is going to be a great race right here, Ralph. Pizzo is never a pussycat.
Predator.
And Monster Patrol, well, we know about Tom. We know how tough he is. So this is going to be a great race.
Be interesting to see if not having that big wing is going to hurt Monster Patrol tonight.
I don't think it'll come into play at all. I can't see it being part of anything. Watch
Boy, that was a good battle.
Can you tell me who won?
No.
Okay. Just thought I'd check because I'm in the dark.
The United States Hot Rod Association officials have already contacted our truck. They want to see the replay to decide the winner of this one.
Let's watch. Alan just ducks a little bit. I believe it's Monster Patrol.
Not by much.
Just from what I'm seeing.
From the roof. And the word is Monster Patrol.
Had him by one thing.
Gravedigger rolls out.
Now, Dennis Anderson, back a number of years ago, had a 52 Ford panel. Had great big tractor tires on it. It was painted black, not quite that nice, but it was painted black. And at Kill Devil Hill, North Carolina, one day they had a mud race. And the monster truck drivers didn't show up. And Dennis said, that's not a big deal, I can do that. And there began the legend of Gravedigger. Because he went out and crushed the cars and spun it around and then built a new one when the next one he built was a Chevrolet. And consequently, we have a legend, Dennis Anderson.
To thy legion's cries thou shalt arise, of flame and thunder to claim thy prize, the Gravedigger.
I'm impressed, Ralph.
Isn't it cool? Kind of sends chills up your spine and ready to go.
Maybe I wasn't like that impressed.
No?
I mean, that's a little impressed.
I think it's great.
Well, you drug me all over malls of America today. Gee whiz.
Well,
I'm telling you.
You wanted to go look
for toys.
For Hot Wheels.
Yeah, for toys.
For those of you at home that don't know, Mike is a big collector of Hot Wheels.
Well, yeah. But Keith,
you didn't buy one.
No, and I won't have to work out again for a year. We walked and walked and walked and walked and walked and walked.
It was good for you.
Yeah, was it ever. Ah, this is it. This is going to be good.
Who you taking?
Oh, Ralph.
I'm one of the Legion's crying. I want to see him rise. Digger's going to the next round.
You like the Digger. I'll take the Bears. I've seen the Bears run many times.
Park it. Nicely done. I think Digger won it.
That wouldn't have anything to do with you being...
Gravedigger wins. No, they're all tough.
They're going to have to really work for it. I don't care whose lane you're in or which truck you're driving, you're going to have to work for it.
And I don't think we've seen advantage on either side of the monster lanes, do you?
We have not. One thing I've noticed that is probably a little bit of advantage is just pure horsepower, because it's a straight track, and all you can do is just mash the motor as hard as you can. You don't have to finesse it anywhere. You just got to mash it and send it. And I think you're going to see the horsepower trucks probably prevail in this last two rounds.
Not just horsepower, Mike, but I think chassis design has really made a big difference. And I think this truck, Samson, has a great chassis design going tonight. Dan Patrick has really done a good job of getting what horsepower he has down to the ground. It's really hooking up and launching well.
For Patrick to win, he's got to leave on the Monster Patrol. He's got to leave. I mean, he's got to be out on him half a second at least. Tom will make up any ground he can in that little flat area between the two sets of cars. But Patrick is on go tonight. I mean, the old Hemi.
Focused up, isn't he?
The Hemi is hot.
Patrick on the right, Monster Patrol on the left. Monster Patrol as Patrick gets a little too much air.
I'm telling you, he looked like a monster truck on Viagra when he went right straight up like that.
I thought he might have been in trouble.
Truck launched straight up, and when it did that, it wouldn't go forward, and that's when Monster Patrol came by. Let's watch Patrick. Watch him when he gets to this second set of cars. You're going to see the problem. Truck goes straight up in the air, and when he does that, Monster Patrol goes by.
And you know why? Because he bounced just going into the cars, Mike. Right there, it bounces before it goes into the car, and it gets big rebound on the front end of the truck, and it goes sky high. Just as Dan Patrick, watch this, Mike, just as he gets set to go into the cars, watch the front of the truck right there.
Yeah,
see it?
You're right.
Completely compressed. And look at Monster Patrol. It's completely extended on the shocks. That made all the difference.
That's just part of racing. A little bit too much.
Well, here he is. Gravedigger. Ready to go. Look at Dennis Anderson pulling on the belts. Tightening him up. Strapping in, ready to go. And on the other side, barefoot. Lost to him in the of the last meeting, but was a quick loser, so he gets another shot at him. The winner of this pair goes on to the final here tonight of our Monster Truck Challenge to square off with Monster Patrol.
I'm telling you, that's the other Dennis Anderson in there right now.
That was inside the belly of the beast as you looked at the controls that Dennis Anderson works with. To thy legion's cries, will he arise? Dennis Anderson set to go.
Oh, Barefoot just covered him off the line.
Barefoot nailed him on the line.
Oh, and they knocked the tire off of it.
And he lost the tire. Look at that. The rear tire comes off.
That's a planetary gear, and it's ripped the planetary off of it. And you won't fix that, Ralph.
Boy, now what, Mike? He nailed him on the line.
And that may be a red light. We'll wait on an official word. But you watch when it lands. Watch the left rear.
You see the smoke. Digger went after him, but just ran out of room.
Let's see what happens when this thing lands. Keep your eyes right back there.
You can see it twisted, and off it came, and it bounces off the retaining wall.
And now that's not the nuts that hold it on. Those aren't just lug nuts. He's twisted the. This is a planetary gear right in there. That's what you're looking at. There's the axle on the inside, and you twisted the axle off of it, and the planetaries came out of it.
There it is on the ground. You can see where it snapped right off. What will happen to Barefoot? Stay tuned at TNN Motorsports to find out. Well, this is the one we've all been waiting for. The Pace Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge is down to our final two competitors here on TNN Motorsports. There's Gravedigger, gonna go head-to-head with the Monster Patrol here tonight in the Metrodome for the big trophy.
I think Monster Patrol, because Monster Patrol has not had all of the air that everyone else had tonight. It kept the truck down on the ground, and several years ago, Tom bought me some Hot Wheels. So that makes a lot of difference.
It makes a lot of difference in your world, that's for sure. No doubt the Monster Patrol's gotten some good launches off the first set of cars, and that is a big difference. But Anderson, I don't know, Mike. He loves to bury that right foot. He's always up for the big match. That's what we got in the finals. I'll take Gravedigger. Remember, Barefoot had won in the semis, but he broke. Gravedigger gets the nod. Monster Patrol locked in. Gravedigger moving into the light. The finals, here we go.
Watch the Monster Patrol.
Gravedigger got him. Dennis Anderson puts him away. The celebration inside the Metrodome begins with a little freestyle action from the big winner.
And you will see all kinds of action coming out now.
This is where Dennis Anderson really shines, when he can just let her rip. Here's the race. He was quick off the start and put him away before they got to the second set of cars.
Got him in the middle ground.
From the roof cam, you can see him pulling away.
Well, and Anderson deserved it. I mean, he's the man.
He just went to town on it. Meanwhile, Dennis Anderson celebrating on the Metrodome floor. Look at that suspension cam as he flies over the cars once again.
You know, they're one when they get inside there.
This is why Dennis Anderson is by far one of the most popular monster truck drivers of all time. And the Gravedigger truck loved by so many in the crowd.
Hey, this is his favorite part, Ralph. You can tell. This is what he loves to do.
No doubt about it. There he is. To the Legion's cries, he will arise and stands on the side of the truck. And they're cheering for him here tonight.
Watch this, Ralph.
I love it already.
That truck and Dennis Anderson are one person.
Having a good time on the arena floor with Dennis Anderson. He'll bring Gravedigger around.